Hello, I'm Jonah Now, and today, through the study of the history of Japan, I have found Emperor Hirohito to be a quality subject. The life of Hirohito is very interesting. Hirohito was Japan's longest reigning emperor. He had a good amount of controversy throughout his reign. Hirohito was born in 1901 to parents Crown Prince Yoshihito and Princess Tamae, who later assumed the role of emperor and empress. In his early life, he was stripped from his parents and was given an imperial education, after which attending a specific institute that trained him to become emperor. Fast forward to the adolescent stage, and you will find Hirohito is the first crown prince to have left Japan to study abroad, where he had voyaged Europe. Upon arrival back to Japan, his father, Emperor Taisho, would not have the health needed to continue to be emperor, and in 1921, Hirohito would be named acting ruler of Japan. In the back end of 1926, Hirohito would assume position as 124th emperor because his father had passed. His title would be Showa, which translates to enlightens peace. Beginning his reign, Japan is coming off an industrial revolution. Japan had great worldly power through trade and military. So powerful, in fact, the Imperial Japanese Navy and Army held power over the cabinet. Hirohito was a presence in many great wars or moments throughout his reign, and the Second Sino-Japanese War is no different. Hirohito is a very controversial emperor because his role within war and legality is unknown. While Hirohito was living, it was thought that Japan's military held so much power that Hirohito was powerless and was just a figurehead for the nation. Following his death, many scholars or historians are convinced he had more say than previously anticipated. During the Second Sino-Japanese War, multiple questionable things took place. Most importantly, the use of chemical weapons. On May 14, 1938, the League of Nations condemned Japan using chemical weapons. And from August to October 1938, Hirohito okayed the use of toxic gas on 375 different occasions. Building up to World War II, Hirohito consented to an alliance with Germany and Italy, making the Axis powers. Japan wanted to be able to continue the takeover of Southeast Asia without the hands of the United States or British military getting involved. Japan was completely willing to go to war if things got out of hand. After a long process of decision-making through military generals, the Prime Minister, and Hirohito, the decision to go to war with the United States is made. In one day, simultaneous attacks hit the Hong Kong garrison in China, the Philippines, started the invasion of Malaya, and attacked the U.S. fleet in Pearl Harbor. While there is no guarantee Hirohito made the final decisions, he was being briefed by the military and was aware of the plans made by Japanese military. In fact, this is the first time in Japan's history where the cabinet would report to the throne often. Through World War II, Hirohito would make military decisions or at least have a hand in it. Between 1942 and 1945 came a decline in Japan's offense, and battles were not carried out properly. Still, media portrayed him as a popular morale and a victorious leader, where in reality, Japan was struggling with resources like food and fuel, leaving America with an opening. Everything started looking grim for Japan. The Soviet Union would not be renewing a neutrality agreement, and Japan's biggest ally, being Germany, had already surrendered. The West and their allies offered a surrender where Hirohito would decline. Eventually, the Soviet Union would declare war, and the US would drop 2 atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. These events would cause Hirohito to eventually surrender. Hirohito was never accounted for war crimes, and his true role in decision-making is unknown. We do know he was aware of much of the stuff going on within the war. Post-war, many Japanese people in power tried to have Hirohito tried or arrested for his war crimes, and many people wanted him to admit defeat for the war. U.S. General Douglas MacArthur thought it would be best if Hirohito would continue his role as emperor. Hirohito would continue his life as a public figure, supporting Japan, and even enjoyed some of his own endeavors, like travel and marine biology. In the beginning of 1989, after a deplenish of health, Hirohito passed away.